Hi, Ludwig. My name is Materin. I've been listening to your videos about you complaining about how you're not climbing and how your teammates are terrible and how you feel like you're wasting your time playing League. And I feel like I felt like I had to give my opinion because I just could not stand listening to you talk about it anymore. So to give you my credentials, I am Diamond 3 currently. I peaked Diamond 1 probably about a season or two ago. I'm at least one trick, and so far I've had a pretty good season, but definitely not qualified to coach you or anything. Really, I just want to kind of give my take on climbing because I feel like I've done a better job than most climbing in this game. So when we look at your account here, I actually see a lot of really positive things right off the bat. You have a champion with a 55% win rate, and you have the most amount of games played on him. Your account win rate is 54%, and you're having a lot of good games, and you're even having good games when you lose. Again, here's a great game where you played really well. Again, this is a really nice game. So it doesn't look like you're getting carried. You're actually playing relatively decent for your rank. Okay, but before I move on, I do want to say that it's not your teammates' fault that you're losing. Okay, guess what? You are the common denominator in every single game you play. And every game that Ericoots is in, you have a 54% win rate, regardless of what happens. Okay? Whether you int, whether you carry, you have a 54% win rate every single time. Okay? So your teammates also have a 54% win rate when they play with you. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, I did want to mention this because I saw some talk about Slime and his rank currently. And all I have to say about this is that he is absolutely going to demote. He's 6-10, and if you look at all of these games, 0-5, 1-9, 1-4, 51 CS, 90 CS, what else we have? 136 CS at 33 minutes. Even the game that he did well, he didn't really do that well. 0-4. So, he is definitely too high a rank, and more than likely he will be down below you in bronze. He might even drop down to iron. And again, that's not his fault. That's just because that's the league ranking system. They will always place you silver or gold rather than bronze and iron, so they don't dilute that player base, okay? So they'll always kind of place someone a little bit higher than where they should be at the lower ranks. And this is no knock on Slime, right? Slime could actually climb and get a lot better, but at his current state, he is not, okay? So I'm going to close out of that. So again, when I look at your account, you are climbing, right? We have to tell the story of where you were. You were at Iron 3, and now you're Bronze 2. That is the equivalent of someone telling me that they were Gold 4 and then got to Plat 3 in the same season, or in the same split. That's awesome. That's a great climb, okay? So you've had a great climb. You can't expect going from Iron to instantly being Gold. That would be jumping, that's the same as jumping from like Gold to Diamond in one season. It's just, that is a massive jump, okay? For you, I really think that probably the best you could do by the end of this split is maybe high silver. You could hit low gold, maybe. Realistically, when I watch you play, you are a silver player, but you have the mindset of somebody that's in high bronze to low bronze, which is not high bronze, excuse me, high iron to low bronze, which is why you probably sit around high bronze. Okay, so now getting into the most important things about League of Legends, and it's what I call the law of ranked League of Legends. Okay? The law of ranked League of Legends is things happen in threes. Okay? So, these are the three things that happen. One game, you will stop. Okay? So, you're going to win this game. It's not going to be close. Your teammates are going to be really good. You're going to have a great time. Okay? One game, you will play close. This game is a coin flip. Okay? So, this is a game that you do fairly well. Typically how I see it is one person on the ally team does really well, one person on the enemy team does really well, and the game's really close, right? It could go either way. Those are the games that you play for. And then one game, you will get stomped. Okay, so loss. Okay, this is a game that you just lose. Everybody on your team loses, or the majority of people on your team loses. It's an instant loss. There is nothing you can do about this game. Okay, think of it that way. So, when we're looking at this, right, we're focused on these two games. These two games right here that are the most important. Now, again, the one thing I want to mention is typically this isn't going to happen right in a row. You're not going to just stomp, play close, and then get stomped. And it doesn't always happen like that. What ends up happening is you'll get them in clusters. So some games, you'll actually stomp. Like, you'll get a nice 3-win streak going. Other games, then you'll get like a 6-game losing streak where your team's just terrible. And then some days, you're just going to play really close all day and you're going to have a lot of good games. Okay? So, With all that being said, what this evens out to is that golden number is a 66% win rate. If you are playing at a 66% win rate, right, that means you are going to climb and you don't belong in the league you're in, okay? At 66%, that means you're winning every coin flip game, which is huge, okay? Typically, if you're doing well, you're climbing, and you shouldn't be in the rank you're at, or you'll eventually leave the rank you're at, your win rate is probably close to like a 55 above. Anything 55 and above means you're actually playing pretty well, and you're winning more than you're losing to a fairly substantial margin. Okay? So, chasing after 60%, 54% is not bad. Okay? Again, we're just trying to impact the games that we can coin flip. Now, if we go back to this, the games you'll get stomped, right? There is nobody that's not smurfing, or most people that are not smurfing are not going to be averaging a 70% win rate. It's not possible. Okay? Even if I take a Masters player and I put them in silver and I have them play 20 games, more than likely they'll end up losing one. Now, does that mean the Master player or Grandmaster player doesn't belong Grandmaster? No, again, it's the law of thirds. Even when I heavily favor them to be so good that they are leaps and bounds above everybody in the game, they will still struggle to win at least one of those games, and if not, lose one of those games. So I do not expect you to have a win rate that's going to be over 60%. Even if you look at me, like, I've had a great season, and I am hovering that 60% line. And nobody would argue. I started this season, I think I was like Plat 1 or Plat 2, and I'm in Diamond 3. It's a great season, okay? So, with all that being said, now let's hop into how to climb. First way to how to climb is stop focusing on wins and losses. Focus on playing well, okay? So, when I say stop focusing on wins or losses, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. League is not about winning or losing. Again, we have to abide by the law of threes. All right, you are forced to lose games. There's nothing you can do about it. However, what you can focus on is playing well every single game. If you win a game and you play well, awesome. If you lose a game and you play well, awesome. You did well even when you guys were losing. If you lose a game and you play poorly, why did you play poorly? What happened? What did you do on your side of things that caused you to play poorly? Okay, and then if you win a game and you play poorly, why were you playing poorly, right? You guys were winning. What kept you from playing better? All right, that's what you really should be focusing on. After this is never surrender, especially in low elo. And this, by low elo, it's really diamond and below. I'll say emerald and below, but really diamond and below. Okay? The reason for this is these games are super swingy. Every single game you play is going to be super swingy. Again, this can include diamond games as well. Really, where it stops becoming swingy is going to be like GM or Challenger. Even Master games are going to be swingy. Okay? So, but especially in Iron and Bronze, nobody knows how to end a game. So that's going to give you multiple chances to win a team fight and come back. Okay? Now, this kind of falls into the last one, is never become irrelevant in your game. Always fight to stay relevant. Okay? So, these two go hand in hand, but I think they're extremely important. So, whenever I say never become irrelevant in your game, I mean if you go 0-2 right off the bat, the last thing you should be doing is dying more and not farming and not prioritizing getting gold on your character. Just because you're having a bad game doesn't mean that you should be dying all the time and sabotaging your team. Okay? If you are 0-2 and then you get a good playoff and you get a double kill, you are now 2-2. Versus if you are 0-6 and you get a nice double playoff, you are probably down in gold. You've given the enemy team significantly more gold. And now you're 2-6, which is a much worse score. Okay? You've given up way more than you've actually given back for those 2 kills. Okay? The only reason I'm pulling 6 is I saw this game, so I was just using an example. So this is what I think you need to do without talking about any game knowledge, mechanics, or macro. Again, I am not good enough to coach you. You have infinite access to really good coaches that are in Grandmaster, Challenger, Master, right? X pros. You can talk to literally anybody, and they will be more qualified. But this is the basic 3 things, and this law are going to be enough to get you to silver, which I truly believe is where you probably belong right now. Last thing I wanted to mention is, do I think you can hit platinum? Absolutely not. You cannot hit platinum this season. I am not a hater. I am not a doubter. You are just not good enough at this point in time, unless you do some serious game knowledge checks and you learn general mechanics. It's just too hard. Also, the last thing is you don't play enough games. This is not enough games to constitute you getting to gold. This is just these numbers are just really low. For League of Legends, you have to remember these people have been playing for 10 plus years and are still gold. So for you to think as a level 60 that you can play this many games and get gold is silly. Okay, best of luck in your climb. I know you can at least get to gold this season. I have faith in you there. Platinum, maybe not so much.